Enormous Podcast. I am Casey Coggins with Alvin Hebert.
Take two.
And Andrew Lara.
I remember how we started.
Oh.
How did we
Danny
start?
Green got traded for DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah. That's
exactly
the big,
what happened.
that is the big news in the NBA world. His Danny Green is no longer a Spur. He was the second longest tenured Spur after Tony Parker left.
Really?
Yeah.
After Tony Parker left?
Yeah, when Tony Parker announced
Tony
that
Parker
he was,
just left.
Yeah. When Tony Parker announced his decision to go to Charlotte, Danny Green became the second longest tenured Spur.
8 years?
8 years. So, Patty's like right behind him.
Mm-hmm.
But
remember when Patty used to be fat on the fucking on the ground? He was even on the bench. He was on the ground waving his towel.
Yeah.
AT&T Center put out towels like every other night after that. It was like, oh shit, Patty's throwing a towel around, so we're gonna put towels for everybody.
Yep. It was a big deal. He was like he still is. He was like the ultimate teammate, and like at that time, he was like the ultimate bench warmer. He was.
It's
like
crazy to see him now to what he used to be. He used to be like had a
little chub, like Raymond Felton almost. I mean, not that fat, but
like damn, the skinny fat,
like old Baron Davis.
Yes.
When Baron Davis got old in the league, how he kind of put on a little
like Baron Davis with New York Knicks.
It was all his core. It was all his core. He still had skinny arms and skinny legs. He just had a fat core.
When the Spurs signed Patty, I was really excited about it because he was really something that the Spurs haven't ever had in the
Australian.
Well, in a point guard that could light up the scoreboard and more facets than just getting to the hole. Because I remember watching him in the 2010 Olympics. Maybe it was the 2010 Worlds. But he was playing against Team USA, which is the dominant team in the world, and he put up 33 against them. Against the Chris Pauls and LeBron and Kobe Bryant and all those guys. He put up 33, and I was like, man, that guy is a professional scorer. And it was cool to see him grow with the Spurs. And we talked about Danny Green. Danny Green kind of just happened to fall into this trade because he was, one, something that the Raptors needed in a shooting guard who can play defense and shoot threes. And two, the money lined up. If the Raptors didn't have Fred VanVleet as their backup point guard, they probably would have included Patty instead of Danny Green in the trade because of how the money would have lined up and the fit for the roster need. But since Danny was...
Who do you think would have caused more heartbreak? Danny Green leaving or Patty?
Patty.
You think people would be more hurt with Patty leaving?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are more hurt with Danny leaving.
Yeah.
I think there's
Danny was a key part of San Antonio nightlife.
I think
once he stopped going to Club Rio, they shut down.
I think there's a lot more people, like a lot more Spurs fans that had a hatred of Danny Green and thought that he wasn't as good as he actually was than people do for Patty.
It was also love-hate with him. Because when he did good, y'all was like, oh, damn. And then when he sucked, it was like, get him out of here. Get him out of town.
No, see, there's a lot of people that were like, when Danny would go 5 for 5 for 3 and get a crucial block, they're like, well, why doesn't he do this every game? Like,
never good enough.
Yeah, so I think as much as there are people who absolutely love Danny Green and think that he was kind of an indisposable piece because of what he did, I really think that he might have been the second best two-way shooting guard in the league behind Klay Thompson. Because I don't know another shooting guard who can play the type of defense that Danny Green can and shoot the ball the same way.
Jimmy Butler?
I guess I consider Jimmy Butler a 3, but
Really?
no, he's like just in my head I see him as a 3, but he's more of a shooting guard than anything.
Yeah.
So but I mean that's the game now. There's no set positions.
So
DeMar's gonna be running 2, but he is a 3.
But yeah, so that's Jimmy Butler would be above him because of all the things that he can do offensively that Danny Green can't. But Danny Green's a better defender than Jimmy Butler is. Like, we need to realize how great of a defender Danny Green is.
I do think he's a great defender, but there's
a reason why he was all defense. He was what, second team all defense this year? So
we traded him for what, all NBA 13?
Yeah.
Which I'll take it.
I mean, DeMar's going to be, I think, a lot better defensively for the Spurs than he was with the Raptors, just because of the pieces that are around.
He's going to be better on paper this year than Kawhi was last year.
Just because on paper Kawhi was DNP. Stupid shit. Man, so that's...
I rest my case.
So what
coach's decision?
Every time I see like new information, like new light shed onto the whole Kawhi drama from last year, I just get more upset with Kawhi.
Not speaking to David Robinson?
Yeah, how do you not?
How do you ignore him?
He's the admiral.
Jesus.
Like he's like one of the nicest guys you'll ever come in contact with, and he's part of the Spurs family. And you listen to Danny Green on the podcast talk about his relationship with the Spurs, and he's like, I'm still a Spur, like, we're family, like, I'm still in contact with the guys. Like, that was, everybody was texting or calling me saying how they're gonna miss me, and like, it's like, if they need any, or if I need anything, I can contact them. And it's like, we're all a big Spurs family.
When they mean you need anything, it's like, if you're gonna need any extra, like, coats or blankets, it gets cold in Toronto.
We're in San Antonio. Do you think we have extra coats and blankets lying around?
Yeah, you know, we're talking about millionaires, right?
Yeah,
people do. They got,
which I found that to be the greatest part, the whole being cold in Toronto, and then later seeing reports just like Kawhi hates the cold, like with a passion, as in like when the All-Star game was in Toronto, there were reports that he didn't leave his room at all.
So
it's just like, all right, cool, Spurs win the pity contest there.
To add on to the David Robinson not being able to get in contact with Kawhi, I kind of don't feel like it's a coincidence that Jordan cut ties with Kawhi today because of the news. Because of the news yesterday. Mm-hmm. Like, Jordan's like, wait a minute, like, you couldn't talk to David Robinson?
Well,
how the hell am I going to market that?
It goes beyond Jordan and went to Nike in general.
Yeah, it's just like Kawhi followed the worst advice.
Uncle Dennis, what you doing?
Like,
we in the cold now with no shoes.
Hey, but also piggybacking on that, what I saw today is New Balance is trying to come back into the shoe game, the basketball game, and their star that they're looking at,
Matt Bonner,
Gordon Hayward.
I saw that. I was like, hell yeah,
that's perfect.
But
you broke your ankle. We're gonna make your foot feel comfortable,
so you'll be able to run for days.
Mm-hmm.
That's you could see. I could totally see New Balance being like, wait a minute, we have a chance to give him the money that he wants and like try to market him. Like, he's already driving like a '97 Chevy Suburban, wanting Wingstop coupons. Like, why not New Balances?
I thought he was going to Big Baller Brand.
Oh God,
we weren't repping those triple B's in LA next season after next.
Man, his own son wasn't even rocking the fucking triple B's.
There was a picture I saw on Twitter that like some maybe like 17-year-old posted of them at In-N-Out, and then you see behind her Lonzo Ball walking out with the triple B hoodie, and I was like, that's a random sighting. Lonzo Ball and then In-N-Out and the triple B hoodie. Like, don't you think that he would go through the drive-thru or something? I mean, I don't know how In-N-Out works in California.
They let you eat in your car.
Yeah, they
tell them it's to go, and they ask you if you're gonna eat in your car. They'll give you a fucking tray. Yep. Call you a fat fuck while you're at it too. Shouts out to Tom Segura for that.
I mean, Alvin watched the Keeping Up with the Balls or whatever it's called. What kind of car does he drive?
I don't fucking know.
Man, calm down. Act like you don't got them balls in your hands.
Them balls.
And so DeMar DeRozan for the Spurs. Alvin, how do you think he fits?
I actually do feel that he will fit the system. The ball movement system, which they tried to implement in Toronto last year. But I think it'll just be like a easy like transition, I should say. But I do feel that people are underestimating him because they feel that Kawhi was the potential like superstar, and they feel like DeMar is like right there, just a star, not a star.
To be fair on that is, let's look at the history. Kawhi has a Finals MVP for beating LeBron James.
Yeah.
DeMar DeRozan played for a team owned by LeBron James. So I mean, the optics definitely. You're looking at, when healthy, probably the third best basketball player in the world. And when healthy, probably like the 13th, 14th best basketball player in the world. So you're dropping in overall skill, and most of that overall skill is just defense, because Kawhi is the best perimeter defender since Scottie Pippen.
But I also do feel that DeMar DeRozan's offensive game, he's improved it like every year. He's added a weapon every year to his offensive game.
And I think that with, as you said, the ball movement offense, he might be getting to catch and shoot a little more instead of having to create as much as he was having to. And with, he was playing with a bunch of young guys on the Raptors this last year, and he was definitely their only offensive option, like as far as playmaking goes, because Kyle Lowry took a major step back this last season. It's astonishing to me that the Raptors were the 1 seed, like looking at the team that they had. So it was a lot had to do with how good DeMar DeRozan was last year. Andrew, what are your thoughts on DeMar DeRozan being a Spur?
He's got talent. He's not old. He'll fit in well with the system. It might be a step down from Kawhi, but we saw what we can do without Kawhi last year.
Right.
So it could only be better than last year. On paper.
Yeah. I mean,
there's an extra spot in the stat sheet. So
yeah, that's kind of where it gets to the interesting part.
And like I said earlier, the Spurs are going to lead the league in mid-range jump shots.
Yeah.
Well, and plus, we don't know how Kawhi is going to look this year either, because he didn't play at all last year. Crybaby ass.
With your crybaby ass.
That's one of the things that I was really kind of expecting to see is the Clippers need to jump on the Raptors' ass to try to trade for Kawhi, because the Clippers had zero in the form of what the Spurs want. At least with this trade, the Spurs got, a guy that can help them become... Like, I think the Spurs team could be the number 3 seed in the West. I see them being the 4, but they could be the number 3.
Is there really any interest, any outside interest from any other team for Kawhi after this whole situation?
If I'm the Clippers, yes.
Because if you're the Clippers, what makes you think that Kawhi's not going to do the same thing to you just to go?
Because he's in LA.
In the other line.
He's already in LA. And if you can package things and get him to the Clippers, I think you have a good chance at... Jerry West is the GM there now.
But it's still... Just because you're in LA, like, he's not a Laker.
But I don't think he's worried about being a Laker.
I think he's just more worried about wanting to be in LA, and especially with the Clippers, Tobias Harris turned down their extension. Like, that's an extendable piece that you
see.
can add to the
That's
package.
exactly who I was thinking is Tobias Harris, because he's just another, 6'7", 6'8" guy who can play defense, shoot the ball. He's a decent ball handler, and then you have other guys on the Clippers that you can expend in picks to try to get Kawhi this year. I think they still have their first round next year. They might not be a playoff team. They're already not a playoff team, for sure. But trying to get Kawhi now to be able to re-sign him long term. He just turned 27. So
But if you're Toronto, are you trying to trade him now after you just shipped it out DeRozan?
if I'm Toronto, like if there's no.
If you're Toronto, aren't you like trying to do the
depends on
Paul
what's-
George
I don't
thing
think
with OKC?
You're not. Yeah, you're not gonna try and shop him.
Yeah.
But if the Clippers come calling, like that's why he said it's not on.
Yeah,
that's
it's
why
not the
he's putting,
Raptors.
he's putting the
I'm
pressure,
not saying-
putting the pressure on the Clippers.
Yeah, I'm not.
Well,
if I'm the Raptors, I'm not gonna be like, hey, I know you want Kawhi, give us these pieces. I'm saying the Clippers need to go like all in and say, we'll give you Tobias Harris, next year's first round, not this upcoming year's, but like the 2020 first round pick. We'll give you one of their rookies that they just got, whether it be Shai Gilgeous-Alexander or God, I can't think of the other guy they traded Miles Bridges for. Maybe that was Alexander, but they have two rookies this year that were first round picks. They have some other pieces that they can try to maybe move and get Kawhi and then overload picks to Toronto, because if you're the Clippers, you go all in to the Raptors with what you have. The problem with the Clippers when the Kawhi was with the Spurs was if they went all in, their all in pieces weren't DeMar DeRozan. And if you're the Raptors, you are changing the culture and everything. Your first round pick's already protected. If you happen to be bad this year, you still get your first round pick. So I think that it's on the Clippers to make that move. And so it wouldn't surprise me. And I think it should happen for the Clippers to just say, look, if we're gonna get Kawhi, we have to get him now. Because if, let's say, Kawhi plays the whole season with the Raptors, at the end of the season, when he's up for a new contract and he's a free agent, he's going to sign with one of two teams, the Raptors or the Lakers. I don't see him going anywhere else.
If I'm an NBA organization though, after seeing how this was handled, I'm not even interested in Kawhi Leonard anymore.
Yeah, but that's us personally.
And even after today with Jordan and Nike just cutting ties and not renewing any kind of contract at all.
Yeah,
because I was watching First Take a couple days ago, and not First Take. It was First Take. Molly Karam and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Talking about what if it's the Spurs that botched the whole entire thing? I'm like, are you serious? You're gonna try to flip it to where it's possibility that the Spurs botched the whole entire thing when they gave him 3 options.
Yeah.
And let him go to New York and do his own thing. No way it's Spurs are involved in this. This is all Kawhi and his uncle. And I feel like he trashed his image and everything. He probably don't care about it, but organizations see that.
Yeah,
and look what happened to DeMarcus Cousins.
Mm-hmm.
As it all played out, it turned into a really bad look for Kawhi.
And you know what's gonna look even worse? Kawhi and Adidas. And you know what happens when you wear Adidas in basketball? You get hurt.
He's gonna have the added-ons.
Hey, James Harden hasn't gotten hurt wearing Adidas.
You better knock on that desk.
Damian Lillard hasn't gotten hurt wearing Adidas.
Hey, James Harden was hurt last year though.
for a little bit.
2 years ago when
You know who else? You know who else?
he was
has
with Chloe.
You know
He
who
wasn't
else
hurt.
has
He was
gotten
fat.
hurt? Chris Paul's gotten hurt a bunch wearing Jordans. I believe Blake Griffin wears Jordans. He's gotten hurt a bunch. I mean, Derrick Rose wears Adidas. He got hurt. but players get hurt. Like Kobe Bryant tore his Achilles wearing Nikes.
But you know what he started in?
Adidas.
Curse.
Hey, Kawhi Leonard and the added-ons, Drake gonna be that.
Tim Duncan
In
wore
Toronto.
Adidas.
Tim Duncan also hurt himself.
Kevin Garnett wore Adidas.
He also hurt himself.
Dwight Howard wore Adidas.
He's hurting himself.
Forever hurt.
So we'll say Adidas makes good point guard shoes. Say that. We'll leave it there.
I had a pair.
That'd be
of
the
those.
ultimate karma.
I had a pair of the Kevin Garnett's back in like 02. That's what I played basketball in. Some KGs.
Did you hurt yourself?
No.
I still can't see how people love those old Kobe Bryant like
Those
moon
crazy
boots.
eights.
Crazy eights. I like them.
The fucking moon boots.
I like 'em.
Like those were ugly.
Yeah.
I dig them.
Those and the Kobe 2s are like the worst.
Even in the video games, it looked ugly. It just looked like a fucking brick.
God. I mean, nothing's worse than those Kobe 10s that they lace up all the way up to like your fucking knees.
Oh yeah, for support.
Oh man, that's bad.
And then when Kevin Durant came out with those ankle support ones too, I was like,
Mm-hmm. I don't buy anything Kevin Durant anymore.
No. I think I finally got rid of my Kevin Durant jersey.
damn.
Oh shit!
I had a Kevin Durant Oklahoma City jersey
I don't buy whole products.
that I got when
The salty.
I think in 2010 when the Thunder took the Lakers to like 6 games and ended up losing. But I was like, man, Kevin Durant's actually a great NBA player. Like, this is the team of the future. Like, and I liked Kevin Durant from UT and all that, but after that series, I was like, I need a Kevin Durant jersey. And then I'm pretty sure when he went to Golden State, I was like, yeah, I can't have that Kevin Durant jersey anymore. And I took it to Goodwill. I was like, somebody else can have that.
Some poor little kid's gonna want it.
The last piece of the trade is Jakob Poeltl.
Purtle.
Yeah. He's too Poeltly for this Poeltl club. He's 22. He's 7 foot. He's athletic. He has a pretty good all-around game and feel. He can shoot out to about 18 feet, and he's a decent passer. And he's just, he's a young Pau Gasol. I think he's going to look really good in the starting unit next to Rudy Gay, LaMarcus Aldridge, DeMar DeRozan, because he can set good picks, he can get the ball to them in spots, and he can rebound well. So I think that the trade for the Spurs is an overall win, but it's really tough to see them get rid of Danny because of how, like, Danny was a glue guy where he could take the best offensive player from the other team for the first 3 quarters and then in the last quarter allow somebody else to guard him. So the Danny thing hurts because of how I really liked him as a Spur. He developed so much and he was such a great defender, but having a starting lineup the way that they have it, with the bench the way that they have it, it'll be interesting to see how the rest of the roster fills out. But they drafted Danny Green's replacement this year in Lonnie Walker.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's Danny Green minus the jump shot right now, with better handles and more athletic ability. And it gets me. I'm just ready to hear about Manu. See if he's gonna actually come back the way that Danny hinted at.
I hope not.
Well, after the trade, I kind of was like, man, I think we kind of need Manu for one more year at least to help DeMar. Like, he's having Manu.
What's Manu gonna do for DeMar?
Adapt him to the Spurs culture, like help, like
coach him to be in the right spots when he's not.
Yeah, that's an integral piece of the Spurs like game plan is having the as everybody like to say, the corporate knowledge that Tony, Manu, and Tim had. Is when a new guy came in, they could sit there and instead of Pop having to coach him, Pop could worry about somebody else. And one of those guys could go to another player and say, hey, look, this is the play we're running. You should be going here. Like, look at these spots. And I think...
but realistically, Manu can retire and still be there. We've seen that with Tim.
Yeah, definitely. But it's different when you're in a game and you're walking to the bench and Manu's coming off the bench to tell you what he saw in the play that just happened.
Well, that's why Becky's in the front row now. She can get off her phone and start talking.
So I think Manu, as much as I kind of want to see him retire, and the fact that these last couple years he's looked so good. Like you don't have that bitter taste in your mouth. Like he was too old, couldn't really get up and down the court, and he just seemed like he needed to retire. I think him retiring is the same way I kind of felt about Tony going to Charlotte. Is it just helps the young guys that I want to see going forward. It gets them into a spot where instead of them playing 6 minutes a game in 20 games in the year, they're playing 66 games and playing 20 minutes a game. So it helps develop the younger guys quicker because now they're playing more meaningful minutes throughout the year. But it'll be tough to see Manu go when he does hang it up and call it quits. But we'll see, and we'll see where this roster ends up, so that when the regular season rolls around, we can do our Spurs season preview and discuss where we think they're gonna end up. Is there anything y'all want to get off y'all's chest about this Spurs Raptors trade?
Just glad it's over.
Me too.
Yeah, just bye.
Yeah.
Punk ass.
You know there's gonna be more stuff coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I still can't believe you didn't respond back to David Robinson. Like
that is the one thing that Alvin is upset about.
You dick. Like
you dick.
Like you couldn't.
How dare you? He's an elderly man.
Like he saw that you read it and you didn't respond back to it.
Like that was the frustrating thing about this whole year is the lack of communication from Kawhi to the rest of the organization.
I'm just man up and say something, man. But nah.
No.
But that's my last thing. I don't want to rant into that any further.
Again.
Yeah.
So as I said, I don't even know if I said it anymore. But we took the week off last week for my birthday and for MLB All-Star Break. The Home Run Derby was exhilarating.
It was great.
Loved it.
Yeah, it was so good. This new format was just so spectacular to watch, and I feel like last year it was the same format, but it didn't have the same lust because Giancarlo was a dud. But I mean, Aaron Judge stole the show last year too. But this year, everybody kind of put on a show.
It was competitive.
Other than Jesus Aguilar. But the semifinal between Reese Hoskins and Kyle Schwarber, where Hoskins put up 20 and Schwarber put up 21.
That was hype.
And then having Bryce Harper cheat at the end. But the way that Schwarber, he kind of fell flat a little bit in the final. For like a minute, he like just couldn't get anything, couldn't get a rhythm, and he ended up with, I think he ended up with 17, 18.
Well, it was the same thing with Bryce Harper. He had a moment where he was just
they're fucking tired.
Yeah, and that's where I think that this format is great, but maybe next year or a couple years, adjust it, because one of the reason I alluded to the cheating thing is you're not supposed to, the pitcher isn't supposed to throw the ball until the previous pitch lands. But you're in a home run derby. You're trying to hit the ball 440 feet. The ball's not going to land very quick.
And you're on a timer.
The fans want to see as many home runs as possible. Why not give a guy a chance to hit 40 home runs in a round? Like, why not give these guys a chance to put on more of a show? Like, why have to wait to throw a pitch? Like, yeah, they have to get set, but you shouldn't have to be able to get set, wait for if they accidentally hit a pop-up, wait.
Yeah, guys are fucking waiting on those moonshots.
So
Aguilar.
That's what scared me with Bregman, is because I think he was against Javi Baez, Javi was blasting balls 479, and Bregman was hitting wall grazers, line drives that just got out, so he just got more pitches to hit. So my suggestion to make it even more exciting is get rid of the waiting on a pitch rule, but give them 3 30-second timeouts. Make it last a little longer.
Or 2. I'm fine with 2.
But give them. Well, I mean, if they're swinging that many times in 4 minutes, or cut it down. Give them as many pitches as quickly as they can in 3 minutes with 2 timeouts. Cut off a minute, still give them 30 seconds if the bonus. Get rid of the waiting for the pitches to land, and just start hurling them out there, and try to get somebody to get a 30 home run round. The record's 28.
But even without going into the high 20s and 30s, I mean, that was just exciting.
Yeah, it was
and for it to be in the hometown.
Schwarber put on a show. Hoskins and Harper put on a show. Javi hit really well. He just I forgot who he ended up losing to. But it was a really good home run derby, and the home run derby led into the All-Star game. Most home runs hit in an All-Star game ever. You had teammates go back-to-back home runs for, I think, the first time in All-Star break or an All-Star game. Yep. Maybe at least for my lifetime, our lifetime. I don't think teammates have gone back-to-back in an MLB All-Star game. I was at the bar and I looked up and I saw that it was the 9th inning and bottom of the 9th, and I can't remember who hit the home run, but the NL hit a 2-run home run to tie it up and send it into extras. Mike Trout hit another All-Star game home run. He has
hashtag not my MVP.
He has 4,
not my MVP.
He has 4 All-Star game home runs in 6 All-Star games.
He ain't that good.
So it was, all in all, it was a really good All-Star break, I think, for Major League Baseball, and now it comes to the stretch run of who can maybe put a foothold in the division, in the league, and propel themselves to the playoff. We had a couple major trades happen in the MLB, with Manny Machado being traded to the Dodgers, which I think was extremely smart for the Dodgers, because Seager went down for the year, and so it gets them that middle infielder to replace Seager.
And they're going to move him to second base now anyways.
Yeah, and And then Zach Britton tonight just got traded to the Yankees, and I mean he was hurt for the first couple months, and since he's come back from injury, he hasn't looked as dominant as he was the last 3 years. But he's still, they have Aroldis Chapman and Bertances and Roberts, and like their bullpen is, their starter needs to go 4 innings. And they can get through the playoffs with that bullpen. So I think it's going to be a really good second half of the season. But I know I didn't really give y'all time to think about it. So just kind of off the top, Alvin, what team do you think is going to make a decent second half run? And I don't not, let's say, excluding the Astros, the Red Sox, the Yankees, and the AL.
The
Mariners.
Well, of course they're on my radar, but I was gonna say Milwaukee and the Phillies. I know Phillies is top. I think they're still at the top of their division, or not.
The Phillies. Yeah, the Phillies. The Phillies are. Yes.
But then Milwaukee, they're in talk of getting Dozier from the Twins. I don't know if that's still on the table, but if they do pull that trade off,
I think offense is going to be so good. But they don't need more offense. They need more pitching.
Yeah, that's what I feel. But I feel like if they do get Dozier, like that batting lineup is going to be set for the playoffs. And then Philly, it's just to see if they're going to continue staying hot like they are, or if they need to make a move. Because I know they were in talks for Machado. There was also in talks for Britton.
Yeah,
didn't go through for them. So.
I don't think they have as much as these other teams have. So that was kind of the issue with getting those big star players in the trade. The Phillies are definitely a team that has rallied together. It's kind of like the Las Vegas Golden Knights, like a bunch of cast-offs. Like everybody thought they were going to be,
their pitchers being
second worst team in the NL East, only above the Marlins because the Marlins just gave away everybody. And they've been they signed Arrieta because nobody was really offering Arrieta a contract, and he's been pretty good for them, and they've been one of the surprises all year. Andrew, what's a team that you're going to keep your eye on coming down the home stretch?
I'm going to go with Cleveland.
They're interesting because Kluber hasn't been as sharp over the last month and a half.
And I think Carrasco is still on the deal.
Yeah, but
Andrew Miller.
They're still on top of their division. Yeah,
so they're in the worst division in baseball, though.
Hey, you know what? They're still there though.
But the Cleveland, they have the recipe in the playoffs for being able to win a series.
LeBron's got it, and they need something to cheer for. Come on.
Baker Mayfield?
I know, he just signed his deal.
Oh, shut up. Baker Mayfield. Little nut grabbing boy. What's up? Grab my nuts. You see this?
And Josh Gordon's not going to be at camp, so for sure they're not going to camp.
No.
To watch them.
Cleveland needs to root for somebody. Might as well root for the Indians.
The only one they could count on.
The feathers, not the dots.
I'm gonna have to edit that.
You don't have to edit it. It's fine.
So the Phillies were one of the teams that I was going to say is they just seem to have that chemistry of nobody thought we would be here. Same with the Braves. Everybody's
Well, Philly reminds me of the young Marlins back in the day, in '95 when they won, and there was just the surprise team because they just had a bunch of young
97.
talent. Or '97, they just had the young talent. They just meshed together, and
and so the other team that I realized has kind of been making a run is the Athletics. They're right there on the wild card race in the AL.
I think they're 3 behind Mariners right now.
Yeah, they're creeping up. They've been.
But that's the typical Athletics. just randomly popping up.
Oakland's been in the middle for how long now?
For years now, man. I'm telling you.
When was the last time they weren't in the middle?
When they were losing like 100 games, like I want to say 8 years ago.
It was 8 years. No, it wasn't 8 years ago.
It was right after Miguel Tejada kind of fell off the track. Like they
Miguel
were
Tejada and what is his name? Andy Chavez.
Yeah, Andy Chavez. Yeah, like right for a little while they weren't very good. I really want to say it was like the 11, 12.
Then Brad Pitt and Moneyball
years.
came in.
Brad Pitt and Jonah Hill.
That was long ago. That was the Miguel Tejada years.
Hold on, let me look up when that came out. Moneyball.
Moneyball came out in 12, but that was based off of like the 05 season.
It was 6 years ago.
But what it was depicting
It was on
like
HBO
13.
for the longest time.
6 years ago. It actually is still playing on HBO.
Because of Brad Pitt.
Yeah, so let's get on to our On Fire, In Dire, and Prophecies. Andrew, you can bat lead off. Who's on fire?
On fire? Kevin Love. His 4-year, $120 million extension.
He's feeling the love, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is the best move for Cleveland. They're not gonna be as good as they were last year, of course, because there's somebody missing.
Well, so
And on top of that, J.R. Smith just realized he's gone. But I think they should have I don't think they should have offered him that contract. I mean, he'll take it. As mentioned, $120 million. They're not going to get anything.
Cleveland's just desperate, right?
Yeah, they want to stay somewhat relevant.
Grasping at straws.
So if, let's say they didn't give Kevin Love an extension, because Kevin Love was going to get money like this from somewhere, because
like this?
Kevin Love's a really good player.
I know he's really good, but that money?
Do you think that the Pelicans wouldn't try to give him that money? They didn't give DeMarcus Cousins the money because of the whole injury and
his
attitude.
Yeah.
But you don't. Kevin Love paired next to Anthony Davis. There are teams that would give Kevin Love that money. Like put him in Milwaukee next to Giannis.
Isn't it weird though? Like last year, he was like debating if he wanted to stay with Cleveland, and
He was debating to stay with them since he got there.
And now he's like, "All right, yeah, I'll sign the extension."
Remember, stop trying to fit out and just fit in.
But that's kind of the thing is, Cleveland still wants to have somewhat of a competitive team. They're not going to be, going.
Well, and it is the East. It's
They're not going to have no home court in the playoffs.
They're not going to win probably a playoff series for at least 2 years, given their cap flexibility in their roster right now. But Kevin Love, I think he's the same age as DeMar DeRozan. I think he's only 29.
I thought it was already like 32.
He might be 30, but he's still right. He's right around the same age as Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant and those guys.
But yeah, I mean, fire goes to him, not to Cleveland.
Fire won't go to Cleveland again until they get somebody like LeBron James. Until they get the number 1 overall pick and they draft Bronny.
Bronny James.
How about he is 29?
Oh shit, I thought he was older.
Yeah, I thought so too. He just looks older. All the stress from having to deal with LeBron James dramas.
Hey, he's white.
Oh, he doesn't age well.
I was gonna say he's white and has a beard. That's the thing. I mean, he did write an article about all the mental stress that he's had to go through over the last couple years and those issues too. Stress doesn't age well.
LeBron James.
Alvin, who's on fire for you?
Man, the LA Rams. I want to be on their team. Everybody's getting paid.
Except Aaron Donald, their best player.
They just there was a report that they're working on that deal, but everybody's getting paid. Brandon Cooks is like barely joined the team and he got paid.
Yeah. Well, so I saw that Todd Gurley signed the extension, and I think it was 3 years?
4 years.
4 years, $50 million?
No, 60 something with
I saw
47 guaranteed.
50 with 45 guaranteed. But it's right around 10, 11 million a year. Like, you
saw the Le'Veon Bell response?
In 10, 11 mil a year for that quality of a running back and player, I don't think that's a lot, especially given the fact that quarterbacks are taking like $27-30 million a year.
4 years, $60 million, 47 million guaranteed.
Yeah, all of the numbers I saw today were like 50 million and 45 guaranteed, but I didn't really look in depth. I just saw that he signed something, and they might have been using like estimates of, if his number is 45 guaranteed over 4 years, like where does that change the market for the Le'Veon Bells, the David Johnsons?
Oh, Le'Veon Bell is like, he can't wait.
Yeah. Because Devontae Freeman. Devontae, that sounds off. It's right. I'm not crazy.
We don't care about the Falcons.
But he signed his like $44 million contract, paying him like $12 million a year. So the Steelers need to lock up Le'Veon Bell. I don't know why they haven't.
They're gonna let him watch.
Yeah, I was like, he's not gonna play.
Yeah.
That'd be stupid. But I'm also kind of an old school kind of football theory person where like you can win a championship or you can compete without like a great quarterback.
I.e. the Ravens, Trent Dilfer.
Well, i.e. the Jags this year, like i.e. Eli Manning's 2 titles. Like, you win by like look at the Seahawks. Like the Seahawks were winning and going to Super Bowls before Russell Wilson became a great quarterback. When Russell Wilson's numbers were middle of the pack, where he was only throwing for 2,500 yards and 18 touchdowns compared to the guys like Drew Brees throwing for 5,030. They were winning championships because of Richard Sherman and Earl Thomas and Cam Chancellor and Bobby Wagner and like that defense was so stacked.
Earl Thomas come to Dallas already,
and they had a good running game and they had Marshawn Lynch. So I'm a believer that if you can get a running game and a defense, you don't need to pay your quarterback a whole lot. You can win with a decent quarterback that doesn't make mistakes.
Dak Prescott.
Exactly. You can win with Dak Prescott.
Damn right.
If you have the defense and you have the running game.
It's coming. The defense is coming.
So, I think the Steelers would be, again, stupid to let Le'Veon Bell walk, especially when he's, I think, 26 years old now. 25, 26. He's still really young in football.
Is he young in football years?
He still has like 5 more years.
Well,
especially
running back.
Especially when it's going to become tag football in like 2 years. My fire, though, to continue.
Le'Veon Bell, 26 years.
Yeah. My fire is Manny Machado. Got out of Baltimore, that sinking ship, and got over to the Dodgers and put them right at the top of the NL as far as favorites to win the pennant and get to the World Series. If Kershaw can figure out his health situation, Kenta Maeda, Alex Wood, Rich Hill. I mean, you saw them make it to the World Series last year and take the Astros to 7. So they just got better this year, especially with Max Muncy doing the stuff he's doing. So the Dodgers getting Manny Machado was big, but Manny Machado is the one I put in my on fire slot because he got out of Baltimore. To follow it up, my Dyer, somebody who also got out of a bad situation in their minds. Kawhi, you're in dire for me. Because
how dare you?
How dare you not respond to David Robinson?
Oh, that just grinds my gears.
But I put him here not only because he got traded to a city and a team that he had wanted no business being part of, but it got to the point where his shoe deal that he was complaining about not getting paid enough, they just said, all right, cool, you're complaining about this and you want, yeah, you know what, we can do without you. We're Nike, we're Jordan brand, like we're good without you. Mm-hmm. you know who we have on our roster right now, you know, the two best guys in the league. Why do we need the third best? We're not Duke basketball. So Kawhi is in dire for me. Good riddance. Andrew, you're dire.
My dire goes out to Gary Sanchez. The other night. What was it last night? Last night. Just lack of hustle / enthusiasm in the game.
And then got put on the DL today.
Yeah.
Yep. He got put on blast on Twitter before.
Yeah.
The Hustle and Heart Award.
Good.
Yeah, man, it was fun to watch. It was
a good job, good effort. That kid, the basketball player or the basketball fan who was like, good job, good effort.
Way to hustle.
Yeah, man, that was just. I was watching. I was like,
well, that was.
I was like, does he not? Is he? He knows. He knows we're playing, right?
Was that the last out, or was that earlier in the game?
No, it was in the ninth.
Yeah.
But I think it was potentially, like, if he would have hustled, like, he could have like, either tied the game or won the game. Like, potentially set it up that way.
Just jogging.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even call it jogging.
Well, it was a power walk.
I mean, the last out of the game was really weird because the guy, I don't remember who hit it. It might have been Aaron Hicks, but he hits it up the middle. The second baseman comes over, gets it, and he tries to flip it to the shortstop, but the shortstop can't get to second base as fast enough. So the runner going from first to second slides in safe, but the shortstop still has enough time to throw the ball to first to get the last out. I was like, they just really did like a 4-6-3 like game-ending play. I was like, how did he not get to first yet? Like, was Bartolo Colon running? Like,
yeah, he could have made it.
Bartolo would have been at first.
Alvin, you're dire.
My dire is the Los Angeles Lakers locker room. They just added Michael Beasley.
That is going to be the most fun locker room ever in the NBA.
You already got JaVale McGee.
And that's sarcasm.
You already got Lance Stevenson.
So just weird.
You got Rajon Rondo.
I told y'all last time, this is fucking Magic talking about we're going to get all the free agents. And there's going to be an asterisk on the bottom and say that nobody else wants.
Is his deal another 1-year deal?
Yeah, another 1-year deal.
I really think the Lakers said, all right, well,
we're not getting Kawhi.
Yeah, we're not going to win it this year. Let's sign a bunch of guys who can play just like prove it contract years.
Let's fill the locker room.
And then and then next year we're going to have 3 guys on our roster, and we'll be able. We'll have all this cap space.
But you know, these LeBron is signing off on these 1-year deals, though, right? Like, why is he signing off on these people?
Hey, LeBron.
I don't think he wants to go to the finals. He's just like, you know what? I went 8 years straight. I'm here for 4 more years.
I think.
I'm cool.
Hey, who knows? He could really just be like, look.
I like Lance Stevenson.
Like you just said.
The way he blew my ear.
I just went to 8 straight finals. Like, I can take a break because I need to take a break if I'm going to be in the NBA when my son's in the NBA.
Yeah.
Like let me take a couple of years off where we're just kind of like
He needs time off to
figuring-
also start off his movie business that he's got going. I mean, he's hanging out with Leonardo DiCaprio.
So Magic, I'm gonna need you to sign the most random assortment of players. Because
can you get?
I'm gonna be focusing on Space Jam 2, and I'm not gonna really be into this year, so that's why I'm signing the 4-year deal. It's a 4-year plan, right? First year I do Space Jam 2
And Trainwreck 2.
yeah,
also.
and We Got Game 2 or some random movie. Or he got game.
Jesus Shuttlesworth, the reincarnation.
They call him God Shuttlesworth.
God, like,
Trying to make the worst basketball movie in history.
just imagine that practice though. I could just it's either like those young kids are going to like break,
it's gonna be
or they're going to like light a fire in their
the
ass.
most interesting like basketball scrimmage since the '92 Dream Team scrimmages in the complete opposite way.
Yes.
You're gonna have Michael Beasley trying to take JaVale McGee 1-on-1 and kick it out to Lance Stevenson, who shoots a corner 3
He's
over.
gonna shoot a 3 from the logo.
It's like the Rucker.
Kobe.
These guys need to be mic'd up. Because over under 500 times you hear somebody shoot the ball in a Lakers jersey this year yelling Kobe.
They're all gonna be Lance Stevenson.
No, JaVale McGee has it in him too. He's gonna shoot a 24-footer.
He's gonna say he's better than Shaq and just like miss dunks all day.
Bum ass JaVale McGee. Shaq, I'm in your house.
So Alvin, follow it up with the prophecy.
Prophecy, Mariners do have a series with the Angels coming up, and I say they take it 3-0.
Very nice. Andrew, on to you.
The decision.
The decision.
D Wade is taking his talents
To
to
China.
China.
He was offered $25 million.
3 years, $25 million.
Jesus.
Ain't nobody else offering that.
Nah. Not even Miami.
Not even, especially not Miami.
He doesn't get. It was cool to have him come back to Miami for this last go around, but he doesn't fit on the roster anymore.
Yeah, that's why he's gonna go to China.
He's gonna be in cahoots with Melo, and he's gonna go to Houston.
Think so? Nah.
No.
Banana Boat Part 2.
We can go to Dallas. It's close enough.
Hey, Dirk, remember when I beat you?
Thanks to Bennett Salvatore and the rest of the refs that year, because I think that was the year that the Lakers King series was scrutinized too. That might have been 2004, but that's like right around the ref scandal. You watched Dwayne Wade get to the line like 25 times, and you're like, something doesn't add up here.
25 times.
And my prophecy is going baseball related as well. I have the Philadelphia Phillies by the end of the week having the best record in the National League. Right now they're 4th, and they're playing the team that's, I believe, 2nd. Earlier, after I wrote this down, I was a little hesitant to go through with it because they were down 4-1, but it's 4-4 bottom 9 now, and they're at bat. So I'm feeling a little more comfortable saying the Phillies.
1 out. I'm gonna run on second.
The Phillies will be the best team in the National League record-wise.
Just hit a base hit.
Next Tuesday. So that is the end of Prophecies, which is the end of our podcast this
About to
week.
come right now. Watch.
Walk off home run.
Walk off hit.
That'll be like a little line drive. Ooh.
Walk off shot to the face. So this has been the Benchwarmers podcast. As always, I am Casey Coggins, joined by Alvin Heber.
Back at it again.
And Andrew Lira.
See ya.
See you next week.
Bandits of a different kind.